Okay, we have our primary red filled in. Now in the second box, underneath it, we're going to make a shade of red. And to do this, we're going to be combining our magenta with black. Now, a common mistake is that people just go take a little scoop of magenta and they mix that in with that big black. I want you to keep in mind that black and your darker colors are very, very strong pigments. I would have to put a ton of this in here to make any significant difference. So here's how we're going to mix it so that we can easily get something that looks good. Okay? Oh man, I got white paint all over me. Well, kind of messy. Alright, so in this middle piece here, I'm going to take a scoop of my magenta red. Remember to rinse your brush off in between. We don't want to contaminate colors. So rinse my brush off, wipe it with my paper towel. And now I'm going to take just a little teeny bit of black because black is that strong, okay? And I'm going to mix that in with my red. And notice I'm going to mix it thoroughly so that there's no striping. And you can see with just that tiny bit, I've got a significantly darker reddish color. So I'm going to paint that into my box. It almost looks purple. Depending on how much of this color we use, we would get all sorts of different darker reds. This is what we happen to get this time. Okay? And that is my shade, or the color with black, in the next box. So I've got my primary color in there, I've got my shade in this box, and now for this little pie piece, this little tip, I want to put my tint, or the color plus white. A good rule of thumb is to remember that the lighter a color, the weaker it is. So I've got white here, and it's a pretty weak color, so I only need a little bit of red to go with it to make my tint. So I'm going to take a scoop of white, put it in an empty well, clean my brush, and just take a little bit of red and mix that up. And you can see the red is very dominant, quickly overwhelms, and now I have quite enough so I can paint in my final piece in this row. So remember, we put the edge of the brush at the edge and we pull in to the middle. Okay, and there we have our first wedge with the primary color, the shade, the color plus black, and the tint, the color plus white. I'm going to do that on all of my pie wedges, and we'll do a little speed up version of that.